Welcome. Today, we delve into the most profound economic shift of our lifetime, the twilight of the assembly line and the dawn of the agent. We are witnessing an AI revolution, moving from physical standardization to cognitive generation, a true civilizational shift that will define the 2025 to 2035 evolutionary path. Core thesis: the contract is rewritten. This is not just about how to execute, but a fundamental rewrite of organizational form and value allocation. Please look at the side-by-side comparison. On the left, the old-world efficiency contract was optimized to overcome scarcity, relying on centralized pyramids and assets like land and labor hours. The value promise was simply faster, cheaper, standardized. Now look to the right. The New World Generative contract is about managing abundance. AI drives the marginal cost of cognition toward zero. Competition shifts from making to defining. Our core assets are now proprietary data, intent, and trust, delivered through distributed nodes and super individuals, promising something unique, instant, one of one. The historical inflection point. Three converging macro trends mark an irreversible event horizon. First, economics rewritten. Marginal cost approaches zero. When cognition copies cheaply, businesses built on intellect scarcity, like consulting and coding, collapse and reform. Second, successor to more. Compute equals sovereignty. We are focused not on transistors doubling, but on model reasoning capacity sitting right on the me of the intelligence explosion curve. Third, Coase at the edge. We see firm decomposition. Agents push market transaction costs toward zero, shattering conglomerates into coordinated micro-entities. The strategic implication here is clear. This is not a cyclical adjustment, but an axiom change, extinction for the old and a Cambrian explosion for the new. We now move into part one, the paradigm shift. We will explore why industrial logic is failing and how the new AI logic fundamentally rewrites time, organization, and value. Outsourcing muscle versus cognition. History doesn't repeat, but it certainly rhymes, contrasting the base logic of two revolutions. The Industrial Revolution on the left was about solving physical limits using coal and oil, leading to standardization and diminishing returns. The AI revolution on the right is about solving cognitive limits. Our core resources are data, compute, and models. The economic logic is personalization and zero marginal cost. The core insight here is critical. Do not run AI businesses with factory logic. You must use probability, simulation, and rapid iteration. The collapse of time explains why the 8-hour workday is toxic in the AI era. Look at the left. Linear output logic meant time was proportional to output. More screw-turning hours equaled more parts. Now look to the right. Burst output logic. 15 minutes of precise prompting can yield more than 8 hours of mediocre labor. Mandatory presence creates friction. The strategic principle is to manage for outcomes, not hours, and default to a burst and recover cadence. Shattering the Coase Limit reveals inverse economies of scale. The smaller, the faster. The transition compresses time, turning middle layers into drag. The old paradigm, the pyramid, relied on mass collaboration, where headcount was a moat. Information cascaded slowly from VP to director to manager. The new paradigm, the neural net, enables the one-person unicorn, a CEO leveraging AI agents and API meshes, operating as decentralized nodes with zero middle management. Our strategic principle must be hire last. Default to agents, APIs, and partners, treating headcount as scarce. From operator to orchestrator. Execution gets cheap, judgment gets expensive. On the left, we see depreciating skills, rote memorization, basic coding, translation, and standardized copywriting. On the right, we see appreciating skills, which are now the scarce assets. Inquiry and prompting, knowing what to ask. Taste and curation, knowing what's good. empathy, grasping deep human needs, and synthesis, connecting cross-domain dots. The founder persona must center leadership on judgment, taste, and synthesis, making human discernment the scarce asset. The death of inventory marks the shift from predictive production to on-demand generation. Look at the left. The prediction model meant producing before selling, where bad forecasts created waste. Following the arrow to the right, the generative model enables real-time production. The product appears the millisecond it's requested. The endgame is hyper-personalization. Our production doctrine must be to design offerings as on-demand generative flows, treating inventory as technical debt. Twilight of SaaS describes the evolution to service as software. The transition ties revenue to outcomes, not seats. SaaS 1.0 on the left sold the tool, requiring a login and charging per seat, but the user still did the work. Agent 2.0 on the right sells the outcome, a finished contract, code, or design. Pricing shifts to per result or commission. The advantage is total automation and black box delivery. The business principle is to price and account by outcomes, not seats or hours, and architect for verifiable value delivery. Migration of the moat addresses the core question. When frontier large language models are public infrastructure, where is your barrier? We must recognize the false moat, prompt engineering. Prompt tricks are easily copyable or obsoleted by smarter models. The real moats are twofold. First, proprietary data. Data that frontier labs cannot scrape, such as user behavior, internal documents, and closed-loop feedback. Second, emotional connection. Irrational trust in your brand or person. As tech gets high-tech, service must be high-touch. The Moat doctrine is to architect proprietary data loops and trust. Prompts and raw compute are commodities. The barbell economy illustrates the collapse of the middle layer. At the ends are the gods, the trillion-dollar infragiants like OpenAI and NVIDIA, and the superhumans, niche and agile teams, which is where you want to be. The center is the kill zone, where mediocre agencies and outsourcers reside. The transition is clear. Avoid the kill zone. Specialize. Our positioning must be to occupy niches that giants won't localize, avoiding the gap between infra-scale and bespoke depth. This is our checkpoint, outlining the risks if we fail to move and the seat we must secure before moving to part 2. On the left, the risks include getting stuck in the kill zone, neither scale nor speed, suffering legacy process drag, and having data exhaust leaks with no proprietary loop. On the right, our seat, the desired position, involves becoming the intent router for one vertical, owning feedback data to fine-tune a narrow model, and implementing outcome pricing with automated delivery. We must align the seat we seek: intent router, data owner, outcome guarantor. We now transition into part 2, future species, examining the 5 AI evolution stages, from infrastructure to simulation. Stage 1, new infrastructure, moving from Standard Oil to model foundries. Just as history saw energy infrastructuralization, we now see model infrastructuralization. Please look at the model foundries box. These new energy companies, like OpenAI and Anthropic, produce liquid intelligence. Companies will pay by token like kilowatt hour. This creates foundational monopolies. The pain point is compute scarcity and high token cost. Our strategic posture must be to secure privileged compute and data rails, treating cost discipline as a sovereign capability. Stage 2, new interface, shifting from the App Store to the Agent OS. Historically, the GUI era required clicks and learning. The mobile era encapsulated functions into apps fighting for attention. Now, the Agent Orchestrator delivers a no-UI operating system. The OS becomes a proactive butler. You don't open a delivery app, you simply ask for a healthy lunch, and the OS orchestrates the nutrition, delivery, and payment agents. Control over intent distribution is the new Apple. The pain point today is that users drown in hops. Our strategic posture must be to be a first-class skill in agent ecosystems, owning intent understanding and success attribution. Stage 3. New service giants, moving from Uber to cognitive monopolies. History shows platform eras cutting transaction costs and professional services offering high-cost, non-scalable human expertise. The cognitive monopolies, such as AI hospitals and law firms, represent the ultimate service as software. Diagnosis marginal cost approaches zero. The future medical giant is a data plus model company, not a hospital chain. The pain point is that professional services are costly and inconsistent. Our strategic posture is to build outcome-guaranteed vertical stacks with human governance, coding expert knowledge directly into models. Stage 4. Embodied intelligence, shifting from Foxconn to embodied AI. AI is now entering the physical world. Historically, automation used hard-coded, rigid robots. The labor era relied on human dexterity for non-standard tasks. Now, embodied giants like Tesla Optimus and Figure are creating a GPT for the physical world. Robots learn by imitation, not programming, enabling RAAS, rent labor like cloud storage. The pain point is that physical tasks are costly and labor-dependent. Maturity signals show generalist robots handling over 80% of tasks without reprogramming. Our strategic posture is to prepare for labor-as-a-service supply chains, integrating safety, data, and orchestration layers. Stage 5. Synthetic economy, moving from Disney to world simulators. This is the history of reality synthesis. Historically, the broadcast era was high-budget and hit-driven, and the UGC era was constrained by tools and talent. World simulators delivered dream as a service. Entertainment giants won't film, they will ship engines that generate physics, plots, and NPCs in real time. Reality versus simulation blurs. The pain point is that static content is costly and unpersonalized. Our strategic posture is to position on-demand simulation rails, making narrative, physics, and safety your core IP. The ultimate action list provides our 4 critical mandates moving forward. First, reshape cognition. Treat AI as the primary executor. Humans must guard intent and judgment. Second, radical minimalism. Teams must stay small and orchestration heavy. Automation is the default. Third, speed is the moat. Evolution rate outranks scale, bias toward continuous release. And finally, return to humanity. In this age of digital abundance, we must trade in meaning and trust. This concludes our analysis of the evolutionary path ahead. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into the future of the generative contract. If you found this analysis valuable, please subscribe to our channel for more Viva Thinking insights.